Broadcast. My name is Jake. You also know me as Xenox, and joining me today is Michael, also known as Guz. We've got ourselves a game here. It's called Knock Knock. It's called Rival. It's called Rainbow Six Siege, presented by Ubisoft, Tom Clancy, something like that. Guz, it's been a long hour. I think it has legitimately been about an hour since we finished our first game, and I want you to say a big special thank you to everyone for sticking around.
A big special thank you to everyone for sticking around. A very big one. I'm talking massive. Like,
Huge.
The biggest thank you can think of, times it by 10. That's how much I want to thank everybody.
Yeah, awesome. I'd even thank everyone even more if they subscribe to Jake and Guz on YouTube. But hey, you don't have to do that. Let's get into the game, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Knock Knock, attacking into Clubhouse, Rival Esports. It feels like to me, for Knock Knock to find a win against a team that's not from, say, South Asia, aka Hasib Warriors, this would be their best chance.
Oh. Yeah, possibly. Intrigued to jump into this one. Knock Knock looking quite competitive against Bleed in the previous playday. Unfortunate for them, there was a DC during that match, and they were not allowed to fill in that slot that was left vacant. So it was a forfeit, and Bleed took that win. But they could take positives from that match. It was over on Cafe though, so played a little bit differently to Club, but another well-established map in the pool. The Rival though, they're hot off. Oh, that was Hasib, not Knock Knock. My apologies. I got my wires crossed. I do apologize. Like you said, it has been a long hours break, so I think I'm forgiven for one mistake. Knock Knock in the previous play they took on Elevate. Bit of an underwhelming performance, only the 3 rounds in that match. Rival also looking to bounce back after a loss to Dark, although that match a little bit closer, 7-5, so perhaps a little bit unfortunate to push overtime. Essentially, they both go into this evening pointless, and somebody is going to walk away higher on the standings.
Pointless? Yeah. Jeez, a bit rude. They're not pointless. They matter.
Well, pointless on the standings. 0 points.
I'm just trolling you, mate. Don't worry. I knew what you meant. I mean, what's the expectation realistically here for Knock Knock? Is it just to be competitive?
For Knock Knock?
For Knock Knock.
I would hope to see a little bit more than just competitiveness here, but they're going to be tested. Attacking first. I think they have it in them to maybe push an OT on their day. But it is going to take good fundamentals here on a map like Club. Can't be making big mistakes, or they are going to be exacerbated. In terms of this defense for Rival, they're doubling down with hard breach to
no Jackie Wu, by the way. So Eclipse, their coach, is a stand-in for Jackie Wu. That actually, I'm not gonna lie, might actually mean this could be quite competitive. Scarlet does get the opening kill onto Rhymes with Buck. Basement here to begin. I can't say I can speak to the knowledge of Eclipse in terms of his playing potential. Some coaches can play, guys, you know, like they're okay, and then others are just kind of like me, dead weight. Zuki's going to have to fall back off bot main here. Oh, and the fallback was watched though by Sandy. Winnable round for Knock Knock, under a minute left, 4v4. They've dealt with the Warden. Certainly could mean a little bit of an easier time attacking into the site. So 1 blue, 2 over towards Arsenal, and then just Songo playing triple. Can Knock Knock find an early attacking round?
Well, Kitchen Hatch is still closed, and Jittery is trying to find something on the vert, but unable to find it. Zidux also falls in the meantime, so if there's any secondary hard breach available on the Buck, that can no longer be used. Likely now to force it deep. Triple ball still is electrified and standing, so in they go. In the face of the deployable shield and the flames, they fall. Beat attempts to go deep, gets caught. Jittery now 1 shot, he falls as well. The flames to help find both picks. Bit of a startling end to the round there from the attack, but Rival do a
bit of Dragon Force there. I can hear you twice for some reason. But yeah, Through the Fire and Flames. Obscure Dragon Force reference if you're a Guitar Hero fan out there. Didn't quite work for Knock Knock.
Oh, ping test. I want to see this. This could be the most exciting part of the match. Give us a look. Knock Knock are at least on like 90 ping. If I had to guess. Maybe we won't see. Maybe we'll just get teased. I don't know.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Are you sure it's a ping test?
Yeah, I saw ping in chat.
Oh, I didn't see that. I was looked to the other monitor temporarily.
What were you looking at?
I was actually looking at Discord to just write to my producer that I can hear myself.
That might be a you problem if you...
Hearing thoughts.
You're hearing the voices.
Seeing... Honestly, after today, yeah, I don't know.
It was, like I said, it was a very long break. Hinjin's ready for another chewy. He's been chewing on that one over the hour break, but time for a fresh one.
Tell you what, yeah, it's also something to consider for the players too, who have kind of just been like sitting around trying to get into lobby. You know, this is not a case of like, oh, we all just kind of sat still for an hour doing nothing. I think for like the entire course of the hour, like every 10 to 15 minutes, it was like, okay, we might be good. And then like, no, we weren't good. And then 5 minutes later, okay, we might be good. And then that just kind of kept going on for like, yeah, the whole hour. So they've been ready to go for a while and only just now can get into the server. Gym bedroom for the second round.
So round 2 then, and above we go, CC Cash, Ying, and such a hard breach combo for the attack. That can be pretty potent on this upstairs site. If you want to go CC across, as mentioned, it's an option, or you can go a little bit more direct over towards Jacuzzi as well. That's still a possibility. Songblood though is on the Warden, so rival with counter util available. We'll see what the approach is here from Knock Knock. Again, wreck, they go for the sweep, could be a combination of the two as well. Fortunately, last round for Knock Knock, time became a little bit of a pressing issue. They had some flaws in their attack. Kitchen hatch was still left up, triple wall untouched. Flames as well late in the round from the Goyo also posed problems. So we'll see how they go about it this time around, but it looks like we are going to see an active bandit trick on that Jacuzzi ball.
Saw some difficulties with, was it Bleed at one point? Failed to open up Jacuzzi a couple of times. Jin making sure that this will stay locked down and reinforced. Shockwire battery juggle successful on the initial attempt from Knock Knock. They have been denied. Ryan's with Bach trying to get the exothermic on the left side of the wall. And I think this is going to get opened up by the Salma. So it's taken a little bit of time. Certainly some resources have been taken off the board courtesy of that bandit juggle, but in the end there is a breach. 90 seconds left, 5v5, and now for rival they're going to be cautious of the fact that Knock Knock are definitely going to be being more capable of moving around the map and not have to be too focused on Jacuzzi.
Yeah, rival they're not under a ton of pressure at the moment, so we'll see how Knock Knock look to apply that now through the mid-round. Some drones have been sent forward, I believe, to find a bit of information, but only the one has been dropped so far, so perhaps droning hasn't been prioritized here by the attack. Instead of lurk now over towards Garage Rafters. Jittery can use those Candelas to help dislodge Cash. Ooh, almost catches Scarlet on the rotation, perhaps a little bit unlucky not to do so. Songblood though the next in line. It is again the Warden, so the Ying here might not be that effective.
.30 seconds left in the round. Songla trying to just lock down this Cash position. Didn't expect maybe Jitter to be in the doorway. He can hold, but he goes for the swing. Low on health. Really, at this point, it's all about just trying to delay for as long as possible. Sandy with the opening kill. Sungler does get the double. Double push through the doorway. Unsuccessful for Knock Knock. He can hold. Wait for the third. Beat's not even watching. You just literally watched 2 of your teammates die. And you're walking through as if there's no one there.
Do you need a drink of water after that one?
I'll have one, yeah.
Okay. This could be a long game. You don't want to get too upset too early. Could be one of those matches. Could be one of those. I'll be a little bit more patient and forgiving. We'll give them one more opportunity. Cash CC up next. But that there was an interesting moment. Good work from Songlot. Probably the easiest triple kill he'll get all stage, but Warden Station there in a good position. And the counterplay on full show. Rival Esports off to a great start here defensively. And Knock Knock maybe touted as an opportunity for them here, maybe their best opportunity. Could push for some points. Haven't made the best case thus far in this match.
So provided we don't see Kali and Montang, I think we can expect a somewhat decent round from Knock Knock. Fortunately, they haven't locked in either of those 2 operators, and we'll go the more conventional route. Double hard breach with the Thatcher. Look to probably make a push through con side. They, of course, will look to open up CCTV main breach. Q and Buck. As for Rival, you've got Jin holding, yes, critical position. Rafters in garage on the Izami. Probably not going to expect, I don't think, too much coming his way. Not this round. Conwall getting opened up. So, con-side push for Knock Knock in this 3rd round.
So Scarlet is in construction here. Skeleton key to exposed site. Opportunity there to find Eclipse, but Zedoc's unable to quite hit that headshot. Scarlet again still in construction. Allowed to escape though. Jittery nor Zedox cut him down on that rotation, so Scarlet lucky to escape back to top red. Knock Knock now can chip away at this utility, and they'll do so in a timely fashion. With the Thatcher and the Thermite still up alongside Ace, there's still an opportunity, I think, in my opinion, to try and attack that main wall a little bit more, try and pressure these positions. Sandy, though, will still find the opener. So a better start here from Knock Knock. But again, with at that CC wall open, there are more opportunities for Rival to re-aggress. But Sandy continues his rampage.
Yeah, wonderful shot. Zuki, though, good swing through the window. Get Zedox maybe just a little bit... Yeah, caught unaware of the fact that there was one that close. 60 seconds. Advantage for Knock Knock on the tertiary side. Must win now in this round. Oh, good shot again. Azuki. 2 critical kills on the round for Rival. And suddenly back into a good position. Only just now are we going to see Kennels get opened up. Sandy with a lurk through lounge down below. But they've lost presence up above. Azuki's found a 3rd. The man's just running around. He might get a 4th, indeed he does, Azuki! 4 out of the 5's not bad! An incredible comeback round for Rival despite the start for Knock Knock.
Well, the TT in chat, and that's 1 key away from GG, and at the moment it feels like that's where we're headed for Rival. Strong start. Knock Knock finding it difficult to... at least in the initial couple of rounds, find these openings, find these opportunities. But even here, 4 versus 3, will eventually then open up a lot of pressure on the defense. We see Azuki here over towards top red, stand up, quad kill, big round. And it's that late round falling apart for Knock Knock. An opportunity now to discuss that over, review what happened, and set themselves up for the next set of attacking rounds. It will be the same rotation more than likely, so they can use that intel from previous rounds going forward into the rest of the half.
Well, in terms of an individual stand-up performance, it was Zuki. At one point, it really did feel like that could be a round in which Knock Knock could find their first. In the end, shutdown. Tactical pause utilized. Big 3 rounds coming up to try and get some attacking rounds on the board here for Clubhouse. We go back to basement. Not an easy one. Hopefully, for their sake, they've been able to formulate a plan. As for Rifle, well, pressure off a little bit. You get to go back around the world. You've already got 3 rounds. You won the tertiary. Releases that valve, and now they can kind of maybe be a little bit more free in their approach, how they want to play this round.
So we'll see the striker in play then for round number 4 here from Jittery. And that may offer some opportunities to util dump particular positions, depending on what belt of util they bring. There's also the possibility of Empson's secondary hard breach. That could be useful. Dirt, maybe the kitchen hatch, which they were unable to open up last time around. And it is in fact the EMP secondary combo. But no excuses really for Knock Knock this time around in opening up these key hatches. The kitchen must be opened up, if that's to be their eventual plan. Have range hard breach, ace, Habana, triple wall as well, then should be dealt with. Thatcher also in play. May also alleviate less of an emphasis on room clear here for Knock Knock. They could try and go a little bit more direct. And in fact, they could actually catch this room off guard on the rotation back towards site if they play their cards right. You can see Rhymes' Buck playing very passively outside, but without anyone necessarily pressuring Azuki out of this position, it is unlikely that he will enter that line of sight. Also, though, Sandy has lurked forward. Shots fired over towards main stairs, and in fact lands a couple of dead shots. Sandy's been looking quite proactive in this match so far, so credit to him. Last round did a good job on the IQ, not quite enough for the round win, but doing his job here nicely, taking map control through first floor and helping open up that motor hatch.
Yeah, I mean, we've only had the 2 games of Clubhouse tonight, but in terms of time, both teams, or all sets of teams, have just been slow in their approach. We're like, easy kill, Azuki's going to get another one. Man is just activated, and he looks like he's separating from everyone inside of the server, that he's got the quality that Knock Knock cannot either possess or match. The round is essentially over, guys. I mean, if we want to be harsh here, it's done. You got to go top floor clear on a basement site, 60 seconds to do so. Even if you get the double pinch and he doesn't get a kill here, he has wasted so much time. I wouldn't even be surprised to be at least as good for 1. Don't swing this, please, 1 by 1. Yeah, that's at least clean. They cleared out the rest of the top floor enough that they knew full well he was stuck in bathroom. That's a pre-fire swing from Beat. So they deal with him, but now 40 seconds to turn your attention back towards basement. You haven't cleared out dirt. No pressure anywhere on site. Triple wall still up. Kitchen hatch, sure, you got all the hatches available. But it is going to be another attack where it's just drop hatches, hope for the best. 30 seconds. Finally, the X-Caros go towards triple, but... I mean, Rival are going to have to screw this up big time.
Yeah, routing towards Blackpot. This plant
well, that's not bad.
Been exposed.
What?
Jittery! Are you serious?
What? Well, they've won the round. How do you have 4v3? You just allow that. No pressure on triple, despite you hear the X-Caros. You hear it getting opened up. No one watches it. That is shocking defense.
Yeah, they should have been pretty clued in there, right?
What? Like, who's the first player that died from Jittery? What are you watching?
I need to see the replay.
Like, by the way, Azuki did his job and more than enough. Yes, he ends up dying bathroom here, but he's done nothing wrong in this case. He's delayed so much time. The X-Car is giving away the push. Yeah, like, yeah, my God. Okay, he's the coach. He's the coach.
Ah, yeah, okay. You have to say sorry now.
Sorry. Feel bad. The second shot was great, by the way. We saw that. I love the little slowdown on the replay. That was like a very like pixel, 1 pixel. He hit that shot. Well done from Jittery. And to be fair, that's also good game sense because you know at that point there's going to be one player in blue that's going to look to trade that into its church. So, I mean, Jittery's played that amazingly. And I think to credit Knock Knock in the end of that round with so little time to still formulate a pretty decent push into side that isn't just essentially run through doorways, that they were still had the presence of mind. Can we open up a side into triple that you can push through? Perfect from them. But Rival should not be losing that in the 4-on-3 advantage. If you just hold the right angles and play off of the trade potentials and don't allow them to push site, fall back, you shouldn't really be losing that.
Well, Knock Knock get away with that final portion of the round. So they've got something on the board now to work with, which I think will be a confidence booster for them. Again, with that coach on the board of Eclipse, Knock Knock need to be trying to exploit that as best as possible. If I'm them, I would just be investing all resources, or a majority of my resources, into finding the Frost, hunting them down, and trying to find rebound openings from those positions. Really put the pressure on Eclipse and the rest of the Rival to, you know, play around that. So we'll see if that's something they may try and do as the match progresses. Twitch in play this time. Dima good counter onto the Azami, whose barrier is now weaker than ever. Although she's still been getting playtime this evening. Dockerby as well, also nerfed not too long ago in the most recent patch. And that second call will come alive in a moment. First one used already though, and some ground taken. Cash now the next place to be under pressure. We'll see if Knock Knock elect to hard breach the wall with Ace and expose the position of Azuki, who's been looking quite sharp this evening.
He's been great. Yeah, and he's been great in the sense that he's playing these critical positions as well, guys, right? He's not just sitting back aside, holding an angle, getting freebies. He's playing first contact. He's roaming around. He's moving. He's hard to kill. And they're going to have to put a lot of time into him. Otherwise, his impact may individually be enough for Rival to win this game.
I mean, this is the test. If they can't clear Azuki here properly, the round will fall apart. Wall still standing. Ryan's Buck, though, does at least find one. So a pick gifted by the defense. But time now becomes an issue. Just over 30 seconds on the board.
Well, this point, if you're Azuki, yeah, you just hold the table here. You don't need swing. You know they're going to have to push through this doorway. It's all about timing. Pop up, little shot. He's also watching the window. So nicely done from Azuki. An absolute masterclass in terms of holding two key entry positions. Window into con along with the doorway. Azuki's won them another round. Azuki 2 and Knock Knock 1 is the scoreboard right now.
The unfortunate thing for Knock Knock is they did expand that tactical timeout after round 3 in preparation for this next rotation, in hopes that they could tidy up these positions. As I mentioned though, Azuki had to be cleared or the round would fall apart. With the mute jammers still standing on breach despite Twitch on the board and potential EMPs from Thatcher and or Dockerby. It's these fundamental areas that are costing them. That wall, if you want to clear that position, it needs to be exposed, needs to be pressured, and or pressure over towards top red. Neither the case, and it's very easy for a player mechanically gifted like Azuki to chill behind the box, time his picks, line up those multis. Pretty easy day at the office for him, not making it look too difficult. Round 6 then, Cash CCTV. If Knock Knock are to keep this game competitive, it's a must-win round. I don't realistically see a 1-5 comeback on the cards defensively, especially on a map like Club. Can snowball towards the attack if Rival are up to the task, so let's see how that goes this time around.
Yeah, this guy is going to get picked up by another team if he plays like this stage, guys. I was actually having a very quick look at his Wikipedia profile. This is the first time pro level. This guy's a really good player. Yeah, he gets traded, but the impact he's been able to deliver in this half is just not being matched by anyone else in the server, even on his own team. He's just playing a different game. I don't know if I can give more plaudits, but yeah, Azuki has been great in this match. He's going to need his teammates to do the rest of it, though, in this 6th round to try and find a 5th round against Knock Knock. No Sandy, though. It does mean, well, only one hard breach remains. That's the ace. That's beat. That's going to be a little bit of a nuisance for Knock Knock that they have to deal with. No X-Kairos. So a pretty decent first pick. If you're going to kill one of these players, the Habana's a pretty decent one.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, definitely. Can't help but feel throughout the match, naturally Knock Knock having pretty severe issues in terms of hard breach. So taking the Habana off the board is only going to compound that. Looking at the moment to be rather one-dimensional, horizontal here. Map across. We're not going to likely see CCTV wall opened up unless the A's can get to work. Jittery does find something though, however immediately traded. So there's still signs of life in this round for Knock Knock. The Monty could be a key piece to the puzzle though. Buck may be able to force something forward, go deep, get info, apply pressure. Could also look to play a little bit more passive, go for a plant con wall if they're able to get that opened up, even with Thatcher already off the board. Impact EMP lands. Beat should be able to get the wall, but the EMP was not effective first time around, nor was it second time around. So that's both Impact EMPs done, and that is pretty much a round over unless Buck goes ham on the Monty.
It can happen. It is shield meta, Guz. If there's ever a time for the Montang to go ham, it's certainly right now, but ham may not be enough to go with this pass up. Does make it in towards the site behind the rack. Now over towards Scarlet, who will lose his life. Okay, he's doing his best. He's gone ham. It's a 1v1. Suddenly with Songler, who is half health, and there's still so much time. This is a nightmare. This is every Siege player's nightmare. The Shield Man is running you down. He's gone more than ham. He has gone nuclear. That is a apt time to use that word, Guz. 3K on the Montang.
Look, I've been a pretty big defender of the shield meta. I think my mind has finally been changed. What the hell was that? That should just not be happening. That's incredibly powerful. Well, I called it. The Monty had to be the one to get things rolling in that round. The Impact EMPs missed. Beat walked straight into a Nitro cell. And Buck was left on an island. Able to find both. Songler tried his best, lands one shot here. Forced to retreat. Caught in the rotation. And gets smacked through the wall.
It's comedy hour, isn't it, Guz? Well, we go to the switch of the halves, and at the end of the day, when it comes to Clubhouse, 2 attacking rounds, as proven time and time again, could very well be enough.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see. Certainly Rival more than capable on the attack, but Knock Knock at the end of that round have been able to bring back some form of semblance of momentum that they can maybe take onto the defense here of Clubhouse, looking to find what would be an amazing win.
Hey, we'll see how it goes. Knock Knock showed promise in particular moments of that first half. Dynamic they'll switch defensively, and there is a little bit more leeway in terms of fundamentals. And I don't think they're going to experience just the same issues, obviously, as they did in the first half. So it may be a little bit more difficult for Rival to exploit. Interestingly, now jumping Eclipse, the coach, onto the Monty. Probably the best time to be a coach. Jumped on, forced onto the shield roll with Alpha Alpha at the moment.
Bomb located by attackers.
But could also elect to play it a little bit more passive and just feed information as opposed to going for aggression with mechanics. Deimos as well, also in play. But as you can see on the player cards, entire defense in basement. And so they should have a pretty good read Rival eventually as to where these players are naturally anyway. and they can get to work with their checklist on the attack. Opening hatches, you have Thatcher, Habana. Secondaries probably as well for Scarlet or Buck. Shouldn't have any major issues here in terms of getting the absolute basics done in terms of reconstruction. And then we'll see what kind of push they want to go for.
Yeah, the Deimos is pretty much there primarily if there's kind of roamers around the map, but when it's just going to be 5 on basement, the Deimos doesn't bring much to this round. You got 1 death mark remaining. Don't, at this point, need to kind of just keep cycling through them. Save 1 for what's going to be the hit onto site now if you are Azuki. Of course, it is Azuki. He can kind of do whatever he wants, really, the way that he's been playing. It clips onto the Montang. We saw what the Montang can certainly do in the right and capable hands in the previous round for Knock Knock. Making his way potentially to Dirt or Kitchen. Entertaining the idea potentially, though. It looks like it will be Dirt. Push for Montang. 25 seconds, so not a lot of time now for Rival. The pacing here has honestly been a little bit poor, but there is good entry, so Eclipse can actually get in there pretty swiftly. Full white, though, so the drop from Songla is at a pretty bad time, because the Montang couldn't help. And Zedux has actually done a decent job there from that position, despite the Montang's presence inside of Dirt. That's an easy Nitrocell, and the round is effectively over, provided you just hide at that point. But Runners and Buck actually gets the style points in the end, and it's a huge round win for Knock Knock.
Yeah, just some time sync issues there from Rival. Again, I don't want to be in a scenario where we're really too critical on Eclipse, but the Monty there had to be a bit more proactive over towards AK and be the one leading the charge, not be the bait, not be that second line of attack. The Monty has the shield for a reason to get in the face, apply that pressure. He's protected. And at worst, he can absorb utility, maybe absorb a shot or two, and then allow other players on the second line of entry to find those picks, find those trades. So if they want to keep leaning into Eclipse shield, I don't think that's inherently a bad idea. But they just need to be giving him the confidence and just telling him to just go in, just run in. Or at the bare minimum, be at the front line, be feeding that information. There's no point in him sort of holding back too much and being hesitant. Otherwise, these attacks could unravel. And that's a good win con I think that Knock Knock can look to try and lean into. If they're able to scare Eclipse away on the shield and expose other players and force them to be the ones to make plays and show initiation, that's where they might be able to strike here. I also liked in the last round the usage of the two-brow, stalled out a lot of that time and made it quite a challenge for them, forced that Dirt push with Moto closed. So good early signs here from Knock Knock defensively. Yeah, quite intrigued to see how that carries across to future sites. Castle in play here for bedrooms, so we'll see how they lean into that as well.
Keep it active.
Loading mag.
I mean, this is incredibly winnable for Knock Knock. Incredibly winnable. To the point where you don't want to put the fear of winning in their mind. I'm kind of just taking a look back to stage 1 and trying to find results in which South Asia got, map wins over teams from, say, Asia. And I don't think there was any. Knock Knock beat Hasib, so that was their 1 win. Unless Hasib beat... I think Hasib beat Daystar. They did, correct. So... a little bit different, though. Of course, that Daystar roster goes pure Hong Kong team. We don't see the return of them at all this stage. They were also pretty much at the same level as South Asia, to be fair. So this would be, I think, one of the biggest results, if Knock Knock can win this game, that we've seen in a long time when it comes to Asia League and the incorporation of South Asia. So there's a bit of pressure here on them to close this out now. Yeah, it's only 3-4. Rival are up, but Knock Knock are on defense. And Beat has done a decent job once again over towards Jacuzzi to keep that wall reinforced. So, again, another little tick goes the way of Knock Knock. They are seemingly keeping good control of this game. And he's made to rotate over to Con, and that wall staying shut as well.
Yeah, clean work defensively from Knock Knock. As they work towards evening out this scoreline. Azuki down below, though, could be a threat. He's looked dangerous so far. Can maybe lurk up main and catch this defense off guard. But with said wall being successfully tricked. It does make it a challenge for him. Bad timing. But the same can't be said for Zdox. Great timing for him on the swing down main. Knock Knock with the early advantage, or I suppose the early advantage for the late round at least. 50 seconds on the clock. Diffuser recovered, but options limiting.
These need to be the rounds that you convert if you're Knock Knock up 5-4. Not a lot of time. You've kept walls closed. You've done an amazing job on the defense. There's a coach on the other side that's going to certainly lack in the entry department. Zdox, good kill. Gets rid of Jin. There's no Azuki to deal with. This, for all intents and purposes, should be a round win for Knock Knock. From here, it would be a choke. It would be a throw. B. Stuck in stash. He's getting bombarded with utility. Where's the help? Surely someone top main. Eclipse does find the kill. And then another one to come through. Please, for the love of God, don't allow the coach to get a 3K on the entry. Sandy doesn't swing. Takes the battle. Gets the down. They've already pushed through into sight though. Sandy clutches up. Gets them both. They do win it out. There is no throw. There is no choke. Boy, was it close. Oh, so close. But Knock Knock get a 4th round.
I mean, respect to Eclipse there. He turned it up there in the late round to give his team a shot. Calamity on the breach to begin. Rival unable to open up that wall, and that was to their demise in the end, as Sandy was able to play that 90 position towards the breach. Eclipse good for the multi, but then Sandy able to hold down the line. Goes untraded. Scarlet was on the ground. And the final kill collected. Even scoreline. And it very much feels like Knock Knock have stolen the momentum in this match.
Yeah. Every chance in which, though, that round goes the way of Rival, and we say the same thing about them and stealing momentum, etc. So, I mean, it was a close one. Credit to Sandy. Held his nerve. Held his angle. Got a couple of big kills towards the end. Also, credit to Eclipse, who was, you know, not really having that big of an impact in this game. Arguably, you know, you're the coach coming in, subbing in for Jackie Wu, but 3 kills, 3 entry kills pushing into Logistic from Con, and I honestly didn't expect it. That opened up the round dramatically for Rival, but as they then kind of just made their way in towards site, they didn't really clear out Sandy properly. So 4-4, all tied up. I don't want to put this on you guys, but I would love to know, and I know you don't have to do this, but I would love to know when the last time we saw South Asia take a map off of an Asia team that wasn't Daystar from last stage. And it's kind of a rhetorical question more than anything, because I feel like it's either just straight up, it's never happened at this level since, say, the APAC South era to now, or you'd have to go really digging. So all I'm saying is this would be a big moment for Knock Knock.
They're still gonna do it though. They're still gonna do it. That final hurdle can be the most difficult one to traverse. So I'm not getting too excited just yet. Cash CCTV as well. Good tester. Difficult site to defend. Monty in play. And unlike Fury, they are playing it with Capital, which I love to see as the Grimm's band. No Carly. Line as well to maybe lock the Zdox in place. Try to cut him down. Nitro support though down below from Beat. So they've got the right pieces in place here, Knock Knock. Rival will be patient. Probably should drone out oil pit and try to ensure that that is clear at least first. Chidori in lounge though. He can ward off the lurk threat red stairs. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing here defensively in terms of Knock Knock. Positioning is sound. Azuki with the first line scan. EE1D goes out. But they don't really play off it just yet. Red ping rafters. Flames have been expended, or at least one. Nitro cell to go out. Ineffective. I can't help but feel there. Maybe Knock Knock feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe panicked a little bit. And Azuki gets the first kill.
Yeah, Zdox, to be fair, what Rival were doing just then is how you want to play that. He wasn't just getting a Carly and a Montang. He was getting the whole shebang from the Capitan, the incendiary bolts with the cross coming from CC Breach. And Azuki finds 3 in the round. He's runs with Buck to be the 4th to follow. He gets a 4K. It's a flawless round. Well, Azuki... Jeez, I do need that water after all. Azuki
you're right. Round two, you got tilted. You got so tilted. And I told you to have a glass of water and you didn't listen. You didn't listen.
I did actually have the water. I need to have another one. But nah, look, it's Azuki or Boss right now for Rival. I think that might be the case for them going forward in this stage, that he can play to this level. I don't know if there's anyone else in this server right now that can maybe match him. Huge round win.
Defenders, protect your bomb.
Spoke about kind of the momentum as well going, you know, after the previous round to this last round. Had gone the way of Knock Knock. Certainly by now, that momentum is already just squashed immediately with an attacking round win for Rival. So disappointing for Knock Knock that they've kind of squandered that little opportunity to kind of snowball on the defensive side of Clubhouse. Back down to basement though. Certainly could be a good determining factor for them to get a 5th round. Azuki is now 16 kills up, 5 deaths. So it is very much fair to say it is literally like either Azuki's going to get this win for Rival or they're going to probably lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, certainly on path to a 20 bomb here, and if the game goes into OT, 25, not too far behind. So we'll see how it goes then. Deimos, in this particular round, big task, can aid on any potential roam clear, and Beat currently in bedroom, so his services on the Deimos will likely be required through the mid-round, and then opportunities through Vert as well if Armory is occupied in the late round. So we'll see how this plays out. Zdux as well, aggro inside of Stockroom. You don't see this every day of the week. This is almost a position I'd expect Scopos to get played once available. So you can play for your life and then fall off to a secondary drone in sight. But with her unavailable, we will just see the fall off down the hatch, and that is a bit of time wasted. I wouldn't say it was a ton of time. 45 seconds into the round, and all 5 players already back on the objective.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
No Song Lam, no worries. Azuki's still alive on the Deimos, but you do lose the hard breach. But I'd rather have Azuki. It's the only time I would probably say that right now, in terms of hard breach versus just a player. Again though, Knock Knock not really giving him any kind of easy kills. 5 in basement, 5 in sight. Does kind of limit the potential of the Deimos to some degree. It's really difficult to sort of predict the way these rounds are going to go. I still think back to the round in which Knock Knock ended up clutching up on basement in a 3v4 with 20 seconds left. Everything about that round said they shouldn't win it, and they won it. Rival right now, 60 seconds, down a player, haven't really got, you know, decent control. Not a lot of pressure towards triple, which is being actually watched. Matricel ready to go bot main, and Azuki needs to be careful. He needs to stay alive. He takes a little bit of chip damage, not a lot. Matricel's still in hand. Rhymes with Buck as well, close by to the kitchen hatch, which is still electrified. Tired Claw still in place. 45 seconds, and spots the creeping Azuki down bot main through the hallway, gets the kill onto Rhymes with Buck, who just thought momentarily, I might go for a peek. And how wrong he was to do so at that time.
30 seconds then. Azuki still on the board. Information available here to Rival, but can they
Skeleton
play
key rush
off of it? Scarlet looking to pressure Zdux over towards AK.
Yeah, he needs to go right now. Azuki's already lost his life. Hello, you know he's there.
There was a ping. There was a yellow ping.
Are you doing?
They would have lost the round anyway, so it's okay. But that was startling.
Give
Good
me
shutdown.
give me your analysis of that ending, guys, please.
Well, I am. Unless I'm
Well,
saying, you saw the yellow ping as well, right?
Yeah, I
There's a
saw the yellow
before
ping.
push.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
and it
also
looked like
very much default position.
Yeah.
It's always held.
It's a must clear. You have to clear that position. Now, like I noted, they would have lost the round anyway. Default plan was denied. Other positions weren't won out. So if he clears AK here, yeah, it doesn't matter. I think maybe there was also a call.
It doesn't matter. Xerox gets the 2 of the kills. I mean, look, I understand what you mean in terms of it doesn't matter, right? It's still probably.
There was a player
unlikely
Deep
they win
Church that
round,
denied the
but-
drop. There's a player
Yeah.
Deep Church denied the drop. It
Yeah.
was round over, so it
But
literally made no difference. But it was still
Yeah.
a big mistake. If there is a word in which, right, he clears it properly, then kills dummies, then can maybe find the 3rd church. It could flip it, but it's one of those instances where we're spectating the one major mistake as every other thing is falling apart for the attack anyway. So credit to Knock Knock, 5-5 scoreline. maybe on the verge of getting some points here today. Next round, of course, will reward the respective team at least a point. And both teams heading into the evening with 0 points, so it will be a bolster towards their position in the standings.
Who wins it from here, guys? So you got no idea.
Like I said, I think it was what, first round, second round. It's gonna be one of those games.
Yeah.
The implication of that being, it's anyone's guess.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's just not enough, even though we've played 10 rounds to formulate an actual prediction that you could base it off.
Yeah, it's
You
like
can take a stab in the dark, sure, but I mean, right now, yeah. Like, I guess if you wanted to lean either way, knock defense usually, but I think the threat of Azuki just walking in and finding 3 kills is just so prevalent. So top floor, gym bedroom, 11th round after what has been 2 hours since we concluded the opening game, which was Bleed Fury. Bleed ended up winning that one.
You're almost in your 40s by now, then. It's been that long.
It's been that long. I think we just celebrated Rob's 30th.
Yeah, he is getting quite old. When are you going to go bold, Jake? I feel like it's a bit of a trend at the moment.
I went bold first, if you don't recall.
Maybe
Well, I didn't go bold. It was
maybe it's time to bring it back. You can join Rob and Nick.
absolutely not. No, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. To be fair, I didn't go like full blown.
Well, actually,
you can
did you
see my skin bold, but
did you not think it was great, or was it your wife?
no, it was both.
It was mutual.
Absolutely mutual.
Okay, well, let's lock in for this round. Round number 11, breakpoint, tuber out. Zoto canisters being used to deny that Moto breach. See if this causes problems again in preventing the ball from being opened up. Bandit available, but won't be able to open up that wall. Oh, won't be able to deny the wall from being opened up, which will, in fact, now be exposed. Range hard breach over towards bathroom means that Beat now needs to be mindful as his feet will be exposed. Tries to trick the wall, too late. Swings instead, compromised position, able to get out, no one on the window. I don't know how he's not died there.
No more peeking. No more. You get one. Everyone gets one peek, and then you don't do anything to rotate off. Zuki's a great spot here. Oh! Did he see the player close left as well? I don't know if he did, but he just walks into them. Oh, okay, cool. Round's over. Why is there 2 players in logistic?
Because breach got opened up and then bathroom.
I
so
know,
had
but
nowhere
like
to play.
it's... I know. But that, like...
Sorry, someone has to be the... Well, actually.
I know
But
the
you're right.
reasons.
There should be a contesting main. Like, as a defense there, you've got to clue in pretty quickly that if you're vacating these positions, the next best condition for the attack to get the round win is to lurk someone up main and to collect them, because they know they're going to be playing the backlines in like a logi or like stacking bedroom or something. So yeah, by not defending that, Knock left themselves quite exposed. But 20 kills for Azuki, I called it. I thought he might get 20.
Yeah, no, he's been great. He's been really good.
Yeah.
And, you know, you think about there's a lot of debate around, what was it? Did Julio say in the interview today with Rob that there was a chance that he could still get dropped or something? Very brutal and honest. Something along those lines.
Oh, about turd stuff.
Yeah.
I think he also then said in the same breath that he really liked him and he's been playing well. So I'm getting some mixed messages.
He did. He played very well today, Ted. So mate, look, honestly, timed it perfectly because Azuki's popping off here, and I don't know if he's going to be on Rival for very long. If he can be consistent, I mean that's the thing, right? Guys, you can have a life game, but if he can be consistent, there's every world in which we see him on a really, I want to say almost contending roster next stage.
It's just
I feel
one game.
Rival and Direwolves should just merge.
It's just one game again.
It is just one game
against Knock. I would hold your horses a little bit.
The thing
if this is not a one-off, then sure.
The only thing is, like, this is an unknown quantity, right? Like, it's not like we've been watching Azuki for years. Like, this is legitimately an unknown quantity. First time we're seeing him this stage. So, when you take that into account, that's why I'm getting a little bit excited, because it's fresh blood.
It's good for the league. I like it. Yeah, I agree. Up and coming talent. Always good to see here in Asia. Meanwhile, Moto was opened up. The double hard breach combination of the ace and the thermite meant that only one side could be tricked by Beat. He was able to retreat over towards bathroom, and the attack now rotating over towards CC Cash. And he's able to open up the CC wall uncontested, and still one summer left for the remainder of the push, but all eyes likely to be on Azuki through the mid to late round, currently lurking over towards front door. There's options up red, options up main, and Knock Knock have to know by now that that threat is looming at some point in the round. Somebody needs to step up to shut him down.
It's like quite an oil pit for Jittery. Does this one go to OT? Do we need to see a little bit more Sandy stuck in gym? E1D up above, looking down, and everyone has to stay still, and he drops the hatch. So, does give up that gym position. Pressure towards Con. Rival making their push towards site. Zuki will be joining him, or joining them on that Con push as well. Clips a little bit of information on the drone. Still plenty of drones remaining, actually, for the final 45 seconds. Intel should be pretty decent. Beat over towards bathroom. Sandy as well. Well, Jittery, he's the big win con right now, guys. If he makes a move from behind, he could be the one to win them the round.
Or maybe the trade doesn't land though. Eclipse, the coach, a massive 2K, and now we're 2 versus 2.
Yep, pushing him from behind. Jittery did indeed find one kill. Plant though, Scarlet going down successfully. Songler providing cover. Vulcan canister to block the push. Jittery, he had to push through the flames and he did. That's why he's so low. It almost worked, but it doesn't in the end. Not a bad call from Jittery to push through, but not enough in the end as Rival will secure the win. And all 3 points as well. In regulation, job done. And for Azuki, he makes a statement as well individually that he is one to watch out for in the future for Asia League.
Yep, huge result there for Rival. And they didn't even need Jackie Wu this evening to get that result across the line. A stand-up performance from the lads that were in the server this evening. And as you mentioned, a full 3 points, which I think is probably the main takeaway. In a matchup like this, where South Asia typically in the past has been a 3-point match for a lot of teams, that can be a point of difference towards the tail end of the season. So top 6 now becomes quite the prospect for them after tonight. It's just about keeping that ball rolling forward there.
Yep. Bye-bye, everyone. Hi, Rob.
Hi, friend. Or, sorry, work colleague. Again, to reiterate the statements and double down, no Jackie Wu, no problem there, Dev. I expected going into that they might have had a couple of troubles, and it's not as if that game was without fault from Rival Esports, but to be fair, they did look pretty good much throughout the actual game.
Jackie Wu or not, because you've got Azuki, and Azuki was absolutely farming the whole way through.
Now, Pengu, I can't. That's one way of putting it. Pengu, looking back at the matchup in particular, I mean, it went a lot closer than maybe I had anticipated. Obviously, you know, once we hit that half and things swap back over, it's always going to kind of even out at a certain point. But do you give the props to Knock Knock in this game? Do you give them enough props for bringing that back and making it close?
Yes and no. It's hard to gauge. That was my first time seeing both of these two teams play like live, so to speak.
Yep.
I am curious what would have happened if Azuki didn't pop off and getting 20 plus kills, because it felt like a one-man show, and I don't expect that performance from the rest of his team to be the usual performance. So my big question is, what happens if Azuki has a quote-unquote normal average game, and how would Knock Knock, square up in comparison, for example? But I will say this. Rival looked like the better team with communication, with teamwork. I mean, that final 3 versus 3 into the 2 versus 2 on gym attack, it was beautiful how they covered the plan, popped the Goyo fire. They knew what they needed each other to do and what to cover, and that's why I rate them higher than Knock Knock.
I honestly, on the back of their opening 3 matches, Dev, on the back of their opening 2 matches, I won't include this one, I actually expected this to be a little more convincing from Rival Esports, and I think there was a hint of that for me, at least in the first half. They looked really dominant. Things obviously changed around the conversation changes. But in terms of rival esports, I mean, I actually think that they could continue to be quite competitive if teams aren't careful. I feel like there's an element to this roster that could catch some. We'll just call them a giant for now, just because they're obviously bigger than them. But it could catch one of the top 4, top 5 teams out.
Yeah, well, we saw Rival play really well against Elevate in the opening play day, enough so that quite a few of us actually picked them to win against Direwolves. Of course they didn't, but it went the distance. It was a 12-round game. If anything, I'm surprised that Rival didn't win in this a little bit more dominantly.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to really pin them down just yet because, of course, also Sub present in this game. And there was a lot of conversation about Azuki there. I did already mention him, but the guys on the cast were talking about whether he might not be on this roster for long. If he keeps performing this well, he might be picked up by one of the better teams in this league. And I wouldn't be too surprised, but I do want to see consistency because having one 20-bomb game does not guarantee that you are going to be a mainstay consistent player.
I've got to say, for a team that's really only come together in the last 6 months, and from the discussions we've had, Pengu, behind the scenes, I spoke to Hinjin before the season started, and he was kind of alluding to the fact that this roster is a bunch of young gunners. I mean, is it fair to say that there might be a bit of hope for this team? You know, getting a stage under their belt and then building from here. Is this a good starting block?
I think it's a good starting block. I mean, it's no surprise to me that the weaknesses from Rival was in their strategy, their structure, and the depth of the game, if you will, because they are a new squad and they have a lot of new players. So, of course, that's going to be their weakness. But if you have good mechanics to work off of, it's going to be fine for the future because you can't really teach mechanics, but you can teach theory.
Oh, I love it. Let's speak about a little bit of mechanics, shall we? We've got Scarlet on the line for the first time in the Asia League. So let's welcome in the Rival Esports member. Scarlet, hello and welcome, my friend. How does it feel to get the first win?
Honestly, I don't really feel happy at all because the last 2 games we played is really close. Like, which is close again. Like, it's 2-7-5, 5-7, I think. Yeah, that's pretty close. I think, if we didn't choke, we probably got 3 wins already.
I don't disagree with that. Dev?
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that Direwolves game because a lot of us actually thought you guys might win that. We thought it would be a really close contest, and it was. It was 5-7. You said it was possible. Can you talk me through your thought process going into that game against Direwolves? What did you expect, and were you disappointed by the result?
What I disappointed was, like, we actually did pretty good on our stress and our refrags and yeah, but yeah, we just choked. Like, if we didn't choke, 7-0, bro, 7-0. No cap. Oh my god, my god.
That's a 7-0.
No!
Sorry. Speaking about today, you said your trade game and stuff you're happy with. Was Clubhouse the intended map from the get-go from prep work as well? And if Clubhouse was the intended map for you, did you want to go here because you were questioning your opponent's ability to like problem solve and play strategy? Or did you just think that your own team play was good enough to just outright beat them no matter what?
I think we're just good enough, I think.
Okay. So you're not too worried about your opponent, you're just focusing on yourself and what you guys could do.
Yep, absolutely.
Damn.
Solid.
Damn.
Excited to see more from you guys in the future.
Double down.
Thank
Scarlet.
you.
I love it. Now, very quickly, my friend, we like to give people the floor here. Is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers out there? Obviously, yourself and the rest of the roster are quite new. You've got the floor.
I can say anything to my viewers.
Depends. Family friendly, you can say anything.
All right. I know we got a lot of haters right now because we didn't perform that good our last 2 games, but yeah, we will bounce back. That's it, bro. That's it.
Well, keep it short and sweet. Thank you very much, Scarlet. Best of luck with the rest of the matches, and hopefully we speak to you soon.
Thank you.
That's some confidence. That is some confidence. I mean, like, if I think about, from my perspective, if I think about storylines, if I think about like teams of old and I think about what young gunners look like in my mind, that's exactly what they look like, Pengu. They're confident. They're not happy with close matches. They're just overall, they've got that energy about them. Like Scarlet had this really excitable energy about him then.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Scarlett's last point about the haters, I almost want to say that I think some of those are also fans who just have high expectations of you. And I think a young gunner will often be like, hey, we don't have any real fans, so criticism comes from haters. I think half the people that give them so much criticism might be fans who expect a lot from them, who are excited about them, and believe in them to do good things. So I think he should also praise himself and his team because they're looking good and they know they can do even better. They might actually have a good future ahead of them.
Dev, anything quickly before we head to a break?
Yeah, I just want to double down on this whole young Gunners storyline because
Please.
guess who the youngest player in the league is? The
Scarlet?
one who got 20 kills tonight. It's Azuki.
Oh,
Azuki.
no way.
So
Well.
I'll leave you with that. Scarlet's only 19 as well, so a very young team. There are a couple of older players on that team, but there's a lot of young talent. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if other teams are licking their lips, looking at those talented players and thinking maybe there's a chance that we can get them in a future season. But of course, Rival have a long way to go, and there's a real chance that they could even make the playoffs and have a run there.
Mate, I'm telling you right now, that kind of talent, that is scary, especially when you start to maybe mix that with a bit of experience, and even more than what Jackie Wu brings. But it is time for us to go to a short break. Don't go anywhere. The Asia League continues after this.